Hola mi gente, hey my people, how was your summer? It's been a while. Yeah, I cut my hair. We are just 2 days from the first day of fall. I hope you have been great. I hope you're safe from COVID and all the crazy things that's going on in this world. It's been a while. As promised, today I am going to show you how I make my Puerto Rican sofrito, which is a family recipe from my grandmother. I put my own little twist to it. I hope that y'all love it. So let's get started. Hey, oye! Those of you who are here for the first time hanging with me in my kitchen, allow me to introduce myself. I am Chef Blue, and this is my kitchen, where everything is made with love. I'm a New Yorican that loves to cook all kinds of food. But today I am showing you how I make my Puerto Rican sofrito. And you can use this sofrito in everything. I'm talking about your rice, your beans, your chicken, your pork, your seafood, just everything. I even put it in my eggs, okay? And that's another show where we're gonna make some sofrito scramble. You hear me? Scramble. I'm telling you, I'm feeling super Puerto Rican. I went to Puerto Rico, and you know, there was a time in my life being a New Yorican where I couldn't even name one town in Puerto Rico, and I felt so ashamed, you know. I feel like us New Yoricans, like second, third generations, we lose the culture and we lose ourselves in it. And it's like we got this Puerto Rican pride, but what are we really proud of? So second time going back to the country and really getting to explore this time, I rented a car. Now if you ever go to Puerto Rico, rent a car. Okay, it's $40 a day, straight off of the airport. You go everywhere. We went from one end to the island to the other in a day, and it was like a 2-hour drive, okay? You were in the beaches most of the time. La Perla, shout out to La Perla, because they don't get enough love, okay? That's the hood. But, you know, the hoods are always around the cities. So in Puerto Rico, La Perla is right outside of Old San Juan, which is the tourist attraction. And La Perla doesn't get enough love. But anybody watching, I'm telling you right now, when you go to Puerto Rico, go show them some love, because they could use it, and they're going to show you some love right back. We went to Luquillo Beach. So people, for y'all tourists who go to Puerto Rico, you hear me, y'all tourists, like I'm a local over there. But when you go to Puerto Rico, you know, you think you should just stay in the San Juan area. No. Explore the beautiful beaches or on the outskirts of the tourist area. You want to go to Luquillo, you want to go to Aguadilla, you want to go to Vieques, where it's crystal clear waters. I mean, them waters is healing, okay? But there's a lot of culture in Puerto Rico. And what I noticed is out there, the Puerto Ricans out there are nothing like us New Yoricans. No, they're not ratchet. No, I walked into a 99-cent store to go try to find a cooler for the beach, and I went in with my cute little see-through pants with my bathing suit. They would not help me. They was like, mija, ponle su cropas and come back. Basically, put on your clothes and come back, because we're not going to service you. So, you know, the Puerto Ricans out there, they have a lot of, you know, morals and values, and it's about family, and it's about working. And I love that the country maintains its independence so that they can protect the land out there. There's rainforests, there's so much beautiful land out there. And you really have to go outside of the tourist. But enough about that, okay? I'm just saying, I'm feeling real Puerto Rican. If you are New Yorican, or you are whatever Rican, Ohio Rican, or Florida Rican, or wherever it is that you are at, go visit the motherland. It's never too late, okay? And be proud of who you are. And when you go out there, you're really gonna feel proud. You're gonna be like, you're just gonna feel that tingle in your body, like, this is where I'm from. This is why they call it Puerto Rico. Don't get it twisted, America. It is nothing poor about Puerto Rico. It's called rich port for a reason, okay? Rich in value, rich in ethics, rich in land. They want it. They want it. Who's they? I don't know. But they want it, and that's the problem. But let's get into this sofrito, okay? So I use a green pepper and a red pepper. I usually use just half, because I'm not gonna make that big of a batch. If you're gonna make a huge batch, use both. But I'm gonna use half. I use a whole onion. Sometimes the onion's a little bit bigger, but again, like I said, I'm making just a small batch, so I I use 2 cloves of garlic. Now my grandmother only used 1. Nowadays, garlic just, I don't know, they be really small. And then I use cilantro, okay? As you can see, I have my cilantro soaking already in my water and vinegar, equal parts. I do not play when it comes to cleaning these vegetables. Cilantro, if you buy it fresh, I know some people, little bag that's overpriced, that's already washed, which I would still soak anyway. If you buy your vegetables pre-wrapped and all that and you think it's safe, think again, because guess who pre-wrapped it? The little man with the BB hands, okay? And you just don't know. So you don't want to take those chances, okay, my people? You want to make sure you clean your vegetables, like I stressed in my first video. I usually put in my onion first. Get yourself a good blender. I'm just cutting up my onions, so I'm going to tell y'all a story. When I went to Isla Verde, which is kind of like a tourist beach, the water was a little semi-cloudy. I was disappointed. They have the bars on the beach, and I had to walk, I think, like a quarter of a mile for a certain bar, because now with COVID, a lot of the bars on the beach won't serve you unless you're a part of that hotel or you have a reservation. Long story short, I walked about a quarter mile on the beach. It was hot, to go get some pina coladas for me and my kids. And of course, versions for the kids. I spent like $70, okay? $70 on a few drinks. Just chop them up big. I go to Aguadilla, I get drinks, I get food, patelillo, all these good stuff. I spent like $30, okay? We need to go to the locals and show them some love. And let me tell you, when I went to the local areas, I got service with a smile. Mommy, amor. You go to the tourist areas, it's like, pay, okay. Wait, let me move on. Put that onion in there. I'm gonna cut up half of my pepper, right? And so my peppers have already been pre-washed in the vinegar and water bath. For all you newcomers, okay? I hope you got one of these under your counter. You need this when you're cooking to clean your veggies, okay? And your meat. I do not play. Like I said, I don't care if it's pre-packaged. The man with the pee-pee hands was packaging your veggies, okay, into that saran's wrap. So you make sure you give it a nice vinegar bath, a nice glass bowl, so you don't have to worry about any of those chemicals and the plastics coming out into your, give it a nice equal amount of water and equal vinegar. And like I said, you go into a Latina house, you're always gonna find one of these under the counter, because we wash all our food, okay? Moving on. So these are pre-cleaned. I just, you know, get the pit out of there. Get all the seeds out of there. Chop them up into chunks so that we don't, you know, damage the blender motor. Just throw it in there with the onion. That's the first thing that I chop up. Let me tell y'all, because today is all about me talking about my trip to Puerto Rico, okay? I gotta stop throwing shade on trips to Puerto Rico, okay? Because there's nothing all-inclusive over there, okay? You gotta come out your pocket for everything. And the problem is that people want to go to the tourist areas. Listen, you walk the streets of Brooklyn, you walk the streets of Compton, you walk any streets of Florida, and you good? Don't worry about walking the streets of Puerto Rico. Just don't walk out there too late, okay? Because there is some poverty. And them Puerto Rican gangsters out there, they don't play, okay? They coming out with machetes or whatever. You lose off with your head, okay? Don't come through their hood thinking you just gonna walk there 1 o'clock in the morning with some Jordans on and maybe some money in your pocket. Nah, now you got, you know, be smart about it. But I stood in Catalina. I rented a very nice Airbnb. It was very nice. The host was beautiful, you know, because they got a Walmart out there. I did go to Walmart. I did go food shopping, and I did cook on some days because, you know, it was a last minute trip. It was just like my daughter, y'all know Nikki, my daughter. She had vacation, a last minute vacation. She's like, Ma, I really wish we could go to Puerto Rico. I was like, so yeah, we was up there, and I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm gonna keep it real, child. I tried to use my EBT card in Puerto Rico because I'm thinking it's a state, right? I'm gonna keep it real. I am not too proud. All right, I tried to use my EBT card, and when I went into Walmart, it did not work. Right? So the man comes up to me, he goes, "Oh, that's food stamp from the States? From the States, okay? He let you know we ain't a part of the States." He said, "That's from the States?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, no, we don't take the food stamp from the States." And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." Luckily, I didn't OD. You know, I just paid for it out of my pocket. I was still saving money. But it just made me think, wow, you know, why don't they get the support? Why can't we go over there and they get the support? You know, it just really made me think. It was just a lot of aha moments while I was out there. But, you know, overall, I love it. I'm 10 times prouder of being who I am. I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I'm always trying. And listen, I speak for survival because I was definitely out there kicking it. And my daughter was like, "Okay, mommy, I see. You know, I definitely know how to survive." All right, so I got my peppers in there. Let me add my onions. So we just gonna going to, what's going on here? We're gonna blend this up real quick. Oh, my abuela used to wear this whenever she cooked. So, you know, I just had to get in the mood. When I'm making a sofrito, I always think about her. So now we just did a little chop. Just a quick little chop, and I'm gonna throw in the rest of the ingredients. With the cilantro, what I do with the cilantro, when you're washing your cilantro, if you're buying fresh cilantro, you gotta give it a shower first. You give it a shower first, you wash off all the dirt, right? And then you cut off just the roots. People only use the leaves. My grandmother taught me, because I'm keeping it real with y'all. When I was younger, I thought you only was supposed to use the leaves. And when I spoke to my grandmother, she told me no. She goes, "I use it all. Just cut off the root at the end, clean it real well. That stem is where all that potent flavor is. So don't, if you're throwing your stems away, I'm just telling you now, don't throw your stems away anymore, okay? Make sure you got that whole cilantro there. This been soaking. This got a good bath. It was soaking. I know this is clean, okay? And I'm gonna just cut it in half so that it doesn't mess up the blades and the motor of my blender. I'm just gonna open that up. And I just want to tell you, wherever you're from, if you're not Puerto Rican, you know, you a second, third, fourth, fifth generation living in America, you know, if you can, when you can, go back to your roots. See where you come from. Feel proud about it. Because one thing that I know about being an American is that culture just gets diluted. And it's just, it's a tragedy. You know, we don't want that to happen. We want to keep our roots rich. We want to keep our culture going. So even if you grew up in a hood like me and you really didn't know much about your culture, you can always go back in and learn about it and feel good about it. Don't feel like you can't do it because you're not that culture enough, you know? You just be classy about it and be serious about it. Be intentional about it, you know? Because them Puerto Ricans out there, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sorry, Bronx, but they can't stand y'all Bronx Puerto Ricans because y'all just ratchet, okay? I was out there and I saw some people, I just knew they were from the Bronx, and I was like, gringa. And in my mind, I'm like, I got nerve because I know I'm one too. I know I'm ratchet, but I mean, seriously, we got to start making each other more proud. And out there like, yeah, I'm from New York. Girl, do you know what a real Puerto Rican will do to you? Chop your whole damn head off, okay? Anyway, let's move along. Now, when I'm making my sofrito, I like to add a little apple cider vinegar. It's a great preservative. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. And it gives it a little bit of a twang. You know what I mean? It gives it a twang. And I also add some extra virgin olive oil. Okay. It's also a good preservative. But I don't put enough where it's just like soaked in olive oil because we don't want that flavor. We want to taste it. And it also loosens it up. See that sofrito? All right, so now I add in the garlic, but while I'm peeling, I get to tell you some more stories, right? So I also went to Dominican Republic this summer. Beautiful experience, but I didn't get to experience the local areas. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm a little more scared of DR, right? Going out into the local areas, I don't know anybody. Puerto Rico, I got family. I could just make a phone call. I don't know nobody in DR. So I was going to a friend's wedding, and we stood at an amazing 5-star hotel, which I will not be shouting out. But long story short, I got to experience the Dominican hospitality and the food and the beach and the water and the sun, and it's just so different. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful experience. I got to see some of the local areas riding from the airport. I just throw this right in there. We're gonna peel and throw in there, and I use the knife just to smush them. And what happens is, as most of you know, especially my Latinas, y'all know this gets the skins off easy. I don't like to buy the pre-peeled garlic, because again, who pre-peeled them? The man with the beepy hands. Okay, no thank you. So I like to know that my garlic is nice and preserved in its skin until I'm ready to use it. I do not like using the garlic that is already chopped up in a jar with who knows what kind of juice that is. I don't like it. I don't like the flavor it gives. If I'm in somebody's house and they have it, I'll use it, and you know, that's cool. I'm not judging anyone that does use that. You know, we all have our things that we're just picky about, and for me, garlic is definitely one of them. I just love the smell of fresh garlic, you know. I really do. I feel like it's one of God's gifts to us. It just has so much nutritional value, medicinal and dietary, which to me is pretty much the same thing. Oh, let me tell y'all, I don't care how dark you are, I don't care how brown you are, when you go to an island in the Caribbean, because Puerto Rico is a part of the Caribbean, Caribbean, not Caribbean, it's Caribbean. You want to know why? Because the Antilles, which is the Caribbean, back in the Christopher Columbus days, the way they mapped it out, it was shaped like a bean, and it was dominated by a tribe called the Caribs. Okay, the Caribs did not play. Okay, they did not play. They gave the French and the Spanish a hell of a hard time. Okay, and they're the reason why our people's skin is still brown. Besides, you know, the obvious migration of Africans coming over as well. But you know, before the Spaniards came and took over and created their own population of white people like me, our people were brown. All right, and so that's why it's called the Caribbean. Okay. Yeah, I just had to say that. But anyway, like I was saying, make sure that you have sunblock, okay, every day. I don't care how brown you are. I don't care how melanated you are. You know, I'm in the sun all summer. Whenever it's summer, you find me in the sun. And I usually don't burn. But one day in Puerto Rico, in Aguadilla, which I must say I absolutely adore the beach out in Aguadilla. It was called Crash Boat Beach. Amazing. They had like a smorgasbord kind of food option. Just amazing, amazing experience. Like, I'm definitely going back there. So I was drinking that day, and I had been in the sun all these days, and I was like, I'm good. I'm melanated. I was way darker than this, y'all. I was all nice and golden brown and feeling good about my skin color, and felt like I was protected because I was nice and brown. I was like, yeah, my ancestry kicked in. This melanin is holding me down. So that day, I really didn't put on any sunblock, which usually I douse in the sunblock. And I was drinking, so you know, my body started getting dehydrated. But let me tell y'all, I went home the next day. 2 days after I was home, my behind was in the emergency room because I had like 3rd-degree burns all over my arms and legs, bubbled up, blistered. Listen, it was not a game. Let me come closer so y'all can see. I'm still recovering. I have scars on my arms. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That was all the scabs on my arms. Do not play with that Caribbean sun, okay? That's a whole different type of sun. Let's get to blending in our garlic. Come on, dance with me. Woo! Going to Brooklyn there. Hey! Alright, so my 2 final steps that I put into my sofrito, which is how I do my own twang into it. This is acaparado. I feel like they renamed it. Wasn't it acaparillo? Okay. This is where the New Yorican kicks in. Anyway, what it is it's olives, capers, and peppers, right? And make sure you get the pitted. It's the olive with no pit in it. You got. I always have to eat some out the jar, but this gives it that really good flavor. And just straight from the jar, I just throw it in there. How much? I want to say maybe like 1/4 a cup. It really does. It really does something to the sofrito where it just. And if you don't like olives, I promise you will never taste it. I have so many people that have eaten my food that can't stand olives, and it be all in my sofrito. And they love, especially my sofrito rice. Now I add extra capers because in this whole jar it will be like 5 capers. Okay, that's not good enough. So I'm actually running out of capers, but I got enough here for this batch. And again, I just told you that capers are, man, they're good. They're good, and they're a great secret ingredient to sofrito. Look, Puerto Ricans make we have many different ways to make sofrito, you know? But this is my way. So I'm teaching you my way. Okay? Right. Getting a little workout. Listen, squeeze the muscles in your stomach. You're gonna work out on your waist and your thighs and your calves at the same time. Why you think us Latinas got body? Salsa, some merengue, and a bachata, okay? Much love to my Dominicanas out there. Alright, y'all, and here you have it. This right here, Puerto Rican sofrito. Well, I should say blues Puerto Rican sofrito because there's just so many ways. And I guarantee you, after you make it yourself, you will never buy that store-bought again. Okay, no shade to our local entrepreneurs trying to get their money on. But listen, y'all be charging $6 for a little thing. Psst, you're crazy. What you eat? What you eat? enough. I made enough to share with my bestie when she comes over later. So that is my sofrito. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me in my kitchen and listening to my stories of Puerto Rico. And I can't wait to see you again. What I want you to do is, I want you to make this and use it. Use it for your rice. Use it for your chicken. Use it for your pork. Use it for your beef. Oh, this makes a good spread on some shredded beef. Woo! Your beans. Make a sofrito scramble. You just need a tablespoon. You know, you don't need that much, but if you are gonna make sofrito rice, I would say using at least 2 big rice spoons worth to put in your oil. But we're gonna have another segment on that. My next show, I'm gonna be teaching you how I make my sofrito rice and my Puerto Rican beans. Until next time, I wanna thank you for joining me in my kitchen, where everything was made with love.
¡Oh, Puerto Rico!
¿Qué tú comes? ¿Qué tú comes?
Y que se chave todo, olvidemos todo.
This show is dedicated to my late and great abuela, Rosa Rosado Reyes. Mwah.